Hey Taurus, TT here with a channeled message for all of my Taurians. If you're new, welcome to our love nest over here on Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. TT here with this channeled message for whoever it resonates for. Whenever you're guided to this reading, know that that's when you're meant to receive it. Y'all, it's so interesting because I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes just meditating, right? And it was like dead silence. No dog barking, no people walking. And it's like the moment that I hit the record button, the universe, the environment just started speaking. Okay? And it guided to me, like I have a whole bunch of channeled messages, right? That I channel throughout the day, even when I'm not with my cards. I also channel like directly, and I write it out or I speak it out whenever I feel the calling for it. So the moment I heard the dogs barking, I knew that this message was for those of you that have been to a very sacred temple. All right, the way this temple spirit is showing it to me, it's like, I want to say white halls, but it's not white halls. It's just so bright that it almost looks iridescent. Okay, this is a very sacred temple. You may have experienced this temple before in like lucid dreaming, or spirit saying dreaming. In your dream state, you may have remembered being in this very, very sacred temple. I almost wanted to say high profile, but it's not high profile from as in the human perspective. It's high profile from like only certain highly intellectual beings are able to walk or roam in these halls. Okay, whoever this message is for is going to be pretty specific, so please only take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate with your soul, this may be a reading for another Taurus. Okay, the message to you, Taurus, is about your spiritual abilities and why you've been going to this sacred temple, or why you've been walking through these halls with these ascended masters, spirit guides, whatever resonates when I say that. You've been asking some questions in regards to your purpose and what it is you're meant to do. And Spirit really wants to talk to you about your spiritual abilities and how it affects humanity, or how it affects the world. Okay, so whatever these spiritual abilities that you have, Taurus, or that have been activated within you, threatens the foundation of this entire paradigm that it was built on. So whatever this paradigm was built on, whatever systems, structures, governmental establishments, those things are at risk of crumbling or falling down with your spiritual ability being moved throughout the planet. Okay, so you harnessing these spiritual abilities, practicing these spiritual abilities, and sharing these spiritual abilities with people all over the world shakes that foundation that this paradigm was built on. Okay, there is a secret initiative to generate more tragedy in the world, and the intention behind generating more tragedy in the world is intended to make you fear unleashing your true sacred potential. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The intention behind all of the tragedy in the world is intended to make you fear unleashing your true potential. All right, and I'm feeling a gust of wind hair kind of like covered my mouth, so there are some distractions, okay? Spirit wants you to know that you have the ability to read between the lines, see the shadows that lie beneath the surface, and you can also see the plot twist behind every conspiracy theory ever channeled, ever shared, or ever experienced. All right, you have the ability to know how to decipher a truth from a lie. Nothing can be hidden from you. This is your divine gift. Okay? It's like everything that comes in contact with you, or anything, person, place, or thing, anything that comes in contact to you that wasn't built on morality, righteousness, with pure intentions of a good heart, you, like a Rubik's cube, you break it apart. You break it apart into pieces and it crumbles. Okay? No longer being able to rig the game, no longer being able to move certain pieces on a board. Like you break everything apart and you actually reveal the mechanical engineering of what that cube or what that system or what that structure was intended to do. All right, you're able to decipher the program. And this is why Spirit is saying nothing can be hidden from you. The only way for these energies to hold you back is to constantly make you question the prophecies that have been given to you, the prophecies, the premonitions, the prophetic word that you've been called to channel. Whatever these messages are that will be channeled through you was given to you by the divine in this sacred temple, under the strict discretion, or under the strict governance of very highly intellectual beings. Okay, they have to get you willing. Spirit is saying that they have the energies that control the cube or the Rubik's cube or the game have to get you to willingly doubt yourself. They have to get you to become comfortable with complacency. They have to fill you up with media devastation around the world and demonize your path through blame, guilt, shame, and projecting a distorted perception through walking zombies. Okay, how Spirit was showing it to me is like remote controllers. So like, you could literally just be walking, minding your business, and the closest person to you, or the closest, I even heard animals. Okay, so the closest geographic location or person to you will instantly become like a walking zombie. They're controlled by someone else or something else, and it's due to their vibration. Okay, so if you're walking on the street and you come across someone and they were acting fine 1 minute, and then you start seeing them act erratic, or it's not making any sense, it's not adding up, possibly even after they have an episode, they may not even remember what they did. It's almost like a temporary possession. Okay, but Spirit is saying not in the way in which things once were possessed. Okay, long ago it was like walk-ins. Okay, now it's something about having the ability to control a person's mind through filling them up with too much blue light or too much white noise, that over time makes them go through these series of stages of insomnia, unable to sleep, hallucinations. And when they are vulnerable, when their mind is vulnerable in that state of consciousness, this program, if Spirit is showing it to me like a program, it's almost like it's in the ethers. It's like a wave or an energy wave. a wavelength, a frequency. They'll like project a certain sound so sharp that it kind of distorts your brain or makes you feel foggy or hazy or something like that. Not to you, but to those around you. And they may say certain things that hurt your feelings, or they may say certain things that seem like that just doesn't make any sense. I didn't do anything to you. Normal things that would be rationalized by cause and effect, it defies those odds of cause and effect, and it kind of skips that whole processing stage of being able to recollect what you did into just snap behavior, snap reaction on the like on command. That's how they're explaining these walking zombies from the perspective of their computer software, their mind, their brain, their being easily tapped into, okay, through like radiation waves, okay? So you may be able to see that that these vibrations of people that come encounter with you may have moments of wanting to guilt trip, blame, shame, project their emotions onto you, and none of it makes sense, but it seems like it's an attack. And that's because the attack is to get you to doubt yourself by way of negative comments, by way of people laughing at you. It's almost like designed to seek you out, okay? I'm seeing the Harry Potter, I don't know if it's Quidditch game, like to seek you out and to pull you out, to make you act a certain way, to get you in trouble. So where you snap or where you react and you in self-defense, but there's nothing to prove it. Okay, so it's like you may get into an argument with somebody and you're defending yourself, and then when they snap back into reality, they don't even remember nothing that they said. As far as everything is concerned, you come off looking like the protagonist or the person that was instigating a situation, and there's no proof to show like, oh, this person has been steadily or readily confronting me or projecting on me or doing certain things to harass me. There's like no evidence type of situation. So it's going to be very important to, when you recognize one of these walking zombies, that you're able to use that discernment, see the truth in a lie, and be able to be several clicks ahead and calculated in how you respond to these situations. Okay. I kept seeing 2828. That may resonate in some way. 1010 as well. So the powers at B have studied your nature, Taurus. They have studied your nature, and they have really studied how sensitive you are to the environment around you, how empathetic you are, how it emotionally creates like a wave of energy. So if I had a dial, right? Let's say I had a little computer input type situation, and I said like, show me Taurus energy in the world. There's like a graph or a simulation of a graph where all of the Tauruses that have ever entered their date of birth in any software, applied for any programs that where they had to enter their date of birth, search for their own information. And guys, this is nothing to be afraid of. This is public information, okay? So things like that being public information, utilizing it to create a social stimulation to see, all right, on a Tuesday when I broadcast some tragic news happening in the world, even if Taurus watches the news on media or doesn't watch the news, is there an influx in the heat wave? Okay, there's something about measuring the the input and output of heat waves, energy bodies. It's like similar to how Tesla cars can, or Apple watches can sense your heart rate rising. Everything now has a sensor. Your phone has a sensor to be able to tell, is your heart rate rising? How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel, do you release endorphins? Do you experience fear? The emotions that are generated, and how can we produce more or less of a specific emotion to guarantee a specific output. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Moving on. So, if there's any tragedy in the world, they've studied over time, over a period of seasons and times, how they can guarantee that the collective Taurian energy would experience an emotional downgrade or emotional decrease or an increase based off of whatever is happening to the planet, whatever is happening to the world. Even if it is not in your particular city, it's like a collective consciousness that all experience the same wavelength, but it's happening in different scenarios simultaneously, all relevantly the same though. Okay. So the intention is your ability to adapt easily into any environment is being used against you, all right, for their own motives. So this natural ability that you have to adapt to the environment. Let's say, for example, you've ever been in a state of poverty, right? One of the gifts that you have of adapting to your environment is, instead of, you may have been born in chaos, you may have been born around poverty, but even in those low states of being, something that should make you lose your mind or forget how to love, or to be mean, or to be unkind, and even in those dark spaces, even in those types of environments, you have been able to adapt by doing things like, well, we may not have light, let's light some candles, or we may not have TV, let's all talk to each other and laugh, or we may not have certain access to certain things, let's create it together. Those are adaptability gifts that you are very keen in when it comes to going through certain hardships that were designed to keep you stuck. Okay, your mind starts to become innovative in those type of chaotic environments. Your everyday decision starts to become, you open up, you don't close in. You understand? You may protect yourself from one degree, and you may think that you're in a state of survival mode, but it's through that survival mode that something else is happening on the inside, and that is what they consider your core. It's like a blue light. I'm seeing, what is the name of that movie? It's like a movie where his son was a robot, and they were trying to do some type of experiment with a red core or a blue core, and they were, Toby, I think his name was, it's a cartoon. So the people that were funding their experiment with the blue core wanted to make an army, right? An army of robots. So essentially these zombies are like robots, walking, living robots, controlled by a different core. Okay, and in that movie his son died, and then he put the blue core in the robot, and the robot had all the memories of Toby through his genetic information, through his hair strand. That movie is the best example that they are allowing me to access at this time. But you can utilize your gifts to unpack that movie if you choose to. Okay, so where am I? So yes, they are they're able to use wait, hold on, where am I? Your ability to adapt easily into the environment is being used against you for their own motives. Yes. So for their own motives. So let's say, for example, that if they can get you comfortable in the next environment. So let's say they allow you to have an upgrade, right? And you get to experience a new comfort zone. You're in a relationship, or let's say you have a house, or you have something going for yourself. But one of the things that they have assigned certain people to offer you is, here, let me offer you this gift. Let me give you this. Let me offer Taurus a lot of different things, or a lot of different options. And they sound very sweet, and they sound very easy, right? But there's something about offering you all of these things causes you to have go into a natural phase of adaptation, right? Because that's also your ability. So through that adaptation, you will be like, oh, okay, well, I don't really need to work anymore because I'm comfortable. Or, I don't really need to do anything because I have so much time now. You know how you just get into a space where the things that once drove you to get shit done, or the things that once made you do something for yourself, it was through that pressure of that pressure being applied on you in a specific way that brought out the other version of yourself. Where there's something about this level, this next level that you're on, or that you're about to be on, it's going to appear to be sweet. Okay, it's gonna appear to be sweet. It's gonna appear to be easy, and you're gonna have to really read the room and read the environment, and tap in with your physical vessel and ask yourself, in this season, what is required of me, even though that pressure may no longer exist, right? Even though I may not be in chaos anymore. What's still required of me in order to facilitate my next breakthrough, in order to facilitate my next upgrade. So it's almost like by design they have studied you and said, okay, if I allow you to have that house you want, or that pay raise you want, or that experience that you're asking for, you're going to become complacent, and you're just going to go back into your normal way of adapting, which is to just do it because there's nothing to work hard for. There's nothing to be innovative about. So you're going to have to play devil's advocate in your own simulation. What do I mean when I say play devil's advocate? This is essentially looking like you're going to have to create yourself the reasons why you're doing something, right? You're going to have to create for yourself the pressure, because the world is not going to be applying it on you anymore, because they have this thought that if they took away the pressure, you would lay down and roll over. You're going to have to apply the pressure on yourself. Let me give you a couple examples of what they're bringing to my forefront, the front of my mind. Okay, let's say you have a consistent schedule. You go to the gym every day, you go for a walk, you handle your business, everything looks good. Your business is looking good, or your work schedule is looking good. You even have more time to sit down on your couch, okay? You have even more time to do so many things. One of the key components during this season is going to be you creating pressure for yourself to keep refining yourself, where you now become the author of your next transformation. You see what I'm saying? So yes, let's say that you now are at $100,000 a year, right? Let's give you an example. I'm making $100,000 a year. I'm doing great. That's great. That's awesome. That's exactly where you need to be. Well, how do you create pressure for yourself? Well, one of the ways that I see you creating pressure for yourself is putting yourself on like a very strict payout plan. You know what I'm saying? Where, I don't know, you have all this money at your leisure, but you live like you only have $1,000 in your bank account. You get what I'm saying? You're creating it for yourself. You're writing it into your own grid and putting your vessel through certain simulations that continue to push out a even higher ascension, or even higher upgrade, or a level up. This may also show up for someone in a way where you've reached your body goals, right? Well, now you're like, fuck it. Let me go ahead and get that 6-pack I never got. I might have gotten down the weight. Why not go ahead and get some triceps and some biceps? So now you're taking in more protein. You are doing different types of lift. You're focusing your technique in a specific area. You're refining that. You are sharpening some aspect of your life to eliminate that undertone or that underlying intention to keep you complacent and comfortable, like the world is never going to come to an end. There's something about when you are placed in these types of environments, two things happen. You will adapt. You will adapt by default, because that's your gift and that's your ability, but you will either adapt for the better or for the worse. Neither option is irreversible. I need you to hear me well, because Spirit is saying some of you may have already become complacent in a particular way. Neither option is irreversible. There is nothing that cannot be undone. There is nothing that cannot be found that has been lost, and you have to believe these principles in order for it to work. Which means, let's say you've gone 30 days being complacent, right? And feeling comfortable in a certain area. Well, now it's time to apply your own pressure, your own adversity. Get in competition with yourself to extract out the most rawest, potent version of you. All right? Within yourself, before you start externalizing into wanting to fix up your house or fix up your cousin, or before you start externalizing it, take yourself to that next level. All right. Oh wow, I'm seeing a dandelion hover over a pool, which is really interesting, because for a second there it appeared like the dandelion stood still. So something about the day the earth stood still is relevant some way, somehow. You've already seen the end, is what they keep saying to me. They are relying on you to fear integrating your shadow and suppressing yourselves without ever having to physically touch you or force you to do so. So if they're relying on you to fear integrating your shadow, what does that mean? Your shadow holds the key. Your shadow holds the key to unleashing this potential within you. Something about your shadow holds the key. What lies in your shadow? For some of you, I feel like your shadow is like, tap me in. I'm getting like your shadow like saying like, Taurus, tap me in, let me like give me a go at it. I'm gonna show you what I'm capable of. And you may be trying to suppress your shadow, like, no, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stay in the light. All right. Many of you are mastering your masculine and feminine energy And a part of being able to master both energies is you have to be able to hold a little darkness within you. This darkness is essentially you, but it does not control you. It cannot consume you. The only time you lose control over anything is when you fear yourself. You fear what you are capable of. You ever felt yourself say that saying like, I'm afraid of what I might do to you, so I'm going to walk away? You can be very quiet, you know. I can see that about you, Taurus. You may be very quiet, a quiet type. All right? I'm afraid of what I might do in this situation, so I'm gonna remove myself from this predicament before something else happens. That is a true statement for you because you possess a very powerful shadow. All right, this is the space where you packed everything. Anyone that's ever told you weren't going to amount to shit, that's where you stuffed it. Anyone that's ever told you that you were going to fail at something, that's where you stuffed it. Anytime you've ever been denied, rejected, you've stuffed all of that repressed energy into your shadow, and you have walked away freely to keep smiling, all right, in the light. But your shadow is a beast. You hear what I say? Listen to me. Your shadow is hot. This is why I'm hot. Hot because you not. Your shadow is a beast. And your shadow has something that it wants to unleash. Bars. Moving on, Taurus. Okay. You will naturally slip back into survival mode. Pick up old habit and vices as familiar coping mechanisms. Damn, come through, Spirit. So Spirit is saying this is what they are. This is what the energy, the powers that be have said about Taurian energy. Oh, I don't gotta do shit. Let Taurus give everything Taurus want. When Jupiter is done blessing Taurus, naturally Taurus will sit on their royal loins, and they will do exactly what we have predicted them to do. All right, they're reading your mind. All right, they're reading your energy, and they're waiting on you to, even for a second. All right, Spirit is bring it to my forefront. Bring it to my frontal lobe right quick, Spirit. I'm a boogaloo well out here. You remember how Judas sat at the table with Jesus, right? This is essentially a Judas. This energy is a Judas. All right. And Spirit integrated Yeshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, integrated his shadow when he said to the guy, he said, what did he say, Spirit? Give me the words. You know, I don't know all of it like that. Okay. He said, you're going to betray me. Boom. There you go. Because Jesus was able to see between the lines, was able to see all possible outcomes in everything that he was doing. He was given that vision. He was given the foresight. So he said, you're going to betray me. All right. And it's like, oh, no, I would never. And he said, and I think he even kissed him, which is a form of endearment, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But at the same time, he even broke bread with him at the table. Right? Christ never ran from opposition, never ran from his enemies. He kept them closer, even at the table. All right? You know how you say you can't eat at the table with me unless you was with me shooting in the gym? All right. There's something about you have all the crypts in your like at your in your arsenal. You see what I'm saying? You have all the tales of the crypt in your arsenal. All you have to do is pull it out. So boom. What was he counting on Christ to do? He was counting on Christ to do the right thing no matter what. So what did Christ say? I'm going to do the right thing. You're still being encouraged to do the right thing, but you're also being encouraged to do what Christ. There's something about what Christ did. I'm just going to say Christ, y'all. Something about what Christ did. It was so that you would know of a surety how to handle your enemies, or something about you having some type of key wisdom on how to handle your enemies. It's already at your disposal because the sacrifice had already been made for you. The betrayal had already been experienced. So you know how they say, oh, I did that so you didn't have to do it? That's pretty much what Christ is saying right now. I did that so you don't have to do it. All right? I took that L for us so you don't have to do it. What's that L? You one, you already at the point of allowing the enemy to sit at the table with you because the Judas is already amongst you. All right, so now it's even bigger than just in a person. This is why you're hot. Okay, it's bigger than a person. Hot because you're not. So it's like it's a collective energy, a collective threat of powerful Taurian energies. Powerful Taurian energies. So, oh man, it's like I'm oh Lord, give me some. If you are in the position where Judas is already sitting at the table with you, the day will come where Judas will betray you. The day will come where this energy, after giving you everything it wanted, it will betray you. So, for example, the energy might give you little riches and things that you want that makes you feel complacent, and then next thing you know, you're like, damn, when I had the money I should have saved it. You know what I'm saying? Or damn, when I had this I should have did it differently. Things like that. Or I should have fucking paid my taxes. I don't know. It's something about, or when I saw that red flag, I should have known better. Or when I saw something for what it was, I should have accepted it. It's something where it shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it don't belong to you because Christ already sacrificed for you to know what not to do. I hope this message is getting to whoever it is supposed to get to. Okay, can I get a hallelujah? I'm sorry, Spirit. You know I can't. I get excited. Okay. So, loyalty is comfort to a fool. You might be feeding this person, clothing them. You might be giving them everything that they felt that they needed or lacked in their life. But eventually, hungry dog eat raw corn. What does that mean? It don't matter if you feed him, clothe him, wipe him down, love him, give him everything he think he want from you, or she, or it. It's gonna bite you without reason, without need, without explanation, and you will weep. Okay, so if you are at the point where you have Judas in your midst, the energy is in your midst, or the energy is around you, you have done built to the second degree with this person. What is that? What do I mean when I say you done built to the second degree? Oh shit, there's a sign on the one where it says 911. All right, so you done built. Some of y'all got kids with this person. You done moved in on the second floor with this person, or some of y'all you done signed the contract. You got the deal. You done 6 feet under with the motherfucker. Y'all done bathed together, drank from each other's water. I don't know. Okay, this person damn near living rent free in your head for some of you. But what Spirit is saying is, even if you got them at the table, even if they are there, even if they are on the same floor with you, even if y'all done bathed together, even if you done got in bed, come on now, even if you done got in bed with these energies, it is never too late. Because when that energy is trying to distract you, you apply your own pressure and this pressure refines you. Anything that is being refined will be immediately casted out. When you are in a state of being refined, the energy will become angry. Talk to me. The energy will become irritated. The energy will start to unravel. The people around you will start to reveal their true selves because you applied your own pressure. So what does this look like from a biblical standpoint? Well, let's say the feast that they had at the table with Christ and all the disciples that was sitting right there. What if the food that was brought out was only one bread? Okay, follow me right quick. Let's say the food that was brought out on the table, everybody lined up at the feast, and this is that great feast or whatever in the Bible that they talk about, but there was only one loaf of fucking bread put on the table. What does that scenario tell you? Hungry dog eat raw corn. That means that the most untrustworthy person at the table gonna reach for the bread first. Why? Because it has to constantly be self-serving. It has to constantly be self-sacrifice. It has to literally sacrifice everyone else for the benefit of itself. That is the energy. You have to call it out and wield it out by its true nature. So I prepare the table before you so you can show me who you really are. I prepared the blessing. Okay, you got to bring both to the table. You can't just keep giving everybody your goodness. You got to also be able to use what? Your shadow, and you have to watch how they move. You are never in the season of not testing when we live in a dimension where everything is done strategically. All right? Loyalty is comforts to a fool. All right, I just dropped some real gems on there for y'all right quick. All right, test the spirit. Test the spirit of the person, place, or thing always around about you in your energy. And if you are to feel some energy over you, test the spirit of the person closest to you. Test the spirit of the fucking tree that you standing next to, because something ain't clinked out here in these streets. All right. There's this energy that wants you to slip back into survival mode. So it is using, all right, these walking zombies to do it. The people closest to you, familiar, to put you back in a coping mechanism. Ask yourself, what habits have you slipped back into? What vices have you given up in your own? This is your New Year's resolution. When everybody was jumping on the first of the year, this is your season. This is your season to resolve all the things that you want and to have your heart's greatest desires. Don't let no man, no thing, no creature, okay, no entity talk you out of what you want for yourself. It's time to be selfish. I don't want nobody else, I swear. So, when in survival mode, you become a prisoner to your own current reality. Let me reread that again. When in survival mode, you become a prisoner to your own current reality, clinging to whatever you have out of fear that you will never find better again. Okay? And Spirit just sent me to here to tell you this one last thing, Taurus, and I promise I'm going to let you go. I promise I'm going to let you go. You can have better. You can. Let Spirit move through you. You've seen this temple path. You walked these halls. You've been here before. There's nothing new under the sun. So let it, so mote it be. That's what Spirit said to me. All right, you guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next channel messages. Be sure to watch out for anyone in the comments pretending to be me. If you ever want to book a personal reading with me and need that information, all of my contact information is in the description box at the top. You will see a number where you can reach me personally. And is there anything else I need to say? No, that's all, folks. Bye. See you tomorrow.